Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. And today we are discussing about modern UI UX in Apex. As we have asked all the learners about the new topics we have to go through, and you can see over here the voting. Almost 52 learners have voted on this one, and you can see right now 19 learners choose modern UI UX, and more than that have chosen the real world Apex project. So we will go through first more modern UI UX and Apex because it's a small topic we have to cover. We can cover it quickly, and then we will jump to world project. So I'm starting it directly, and also just let you know that I have just put a post over here where I have given a dedicated PDF, so you guys can learn what are the importance of UI UX. And today we will go through this PDF itself. So this is a material I have given you. You can go through this one. You can see all the aspect one by one over here, and I will explain it as well in this video. So let's just quickly jump into that one. So I will bring it up. Yeah, so over here I will quickly start with this one. Yeah, so starting with this one, in this video we will discuss related to UI learnings, and we will see the impact of UI UX in Oracle Apex applications. Because most of the developers in Oracle Apex by default they are good in backend, and you can say 80 to 90% they are only engaged with the backend development, and the front end is also taken care by the developer itself, but they don't give that much importance to UI. And the presentation somehow make a big difference when we showing that application to our client or users. So we will see how we can scale, we can basically make our application more user friendly. And so we are starting with this one, so I will quickly move to second. Yeah. So yes, so before starting this video, I want to let you know this dedicated PDF is created for all the developers who are a part of organization. Even though you are not working in an organization, it has structured in such a way that we have taken example where you know basically the sprint wise we work in development. In a month we have 4 to 5 sprint, or some companies have 2 to 3 sprints where they take dedicated modules and create application on that one. So we will take that structure and we will behave like that one, that you are working in a corporate, and how you can resolve that issues of UI UX over there. So starting with this one, why UI UX matter in Oracle application. So why we are increasing focus in UI UX? So in this particular, from now onward, whenever we do any development for any video or module or anything, we will focus on UI UX. And I also suggest you all, whenever you are creating any application, make sure you also see the application from the user perspective. So over here, what was the earlier hurdles as a part of development now, including dedicated front-end focus, multiple UI iterations, and calls and close alignment with Figma. So what is Figma? Figma is basically the representation before when we go to a development phase where we do any development. First of all, we create a wireframe. You can see a blueprint of that application where we show how application would look like. So it will be a wireframe. Then we create a Figma design of that one. We showcase that one to client or users and get some approval from them or some feedback from them. On behalf of that one, we create a proper application wireframe design. And once we have a concrete structure ready and approved by the users, then we go into the development phase. So Figma is something, that one we will also include Figma in our next video. But as of now, just take a reference like something where we can create a blueprint of application first, and then we will go to development. So The priority will continue to grow in upcoming sprint. So as I told you, we have taken a point of view that you are working in your organization where you will do a development into a sprint phases. So as a sprint increases, you have to more focus on UI, also understanding our users. So from a perspective, I can say you one thing: when you create any application for any company right now, the user are mostly dependent on Excel's, PowerPoint, or Word file, or any, you can say, in-house applications, the old age applications. And users are mostly comfortable with that one, even though it take much of their time. But they are now so fluent with that technology that they don't want to jump to another application, even though application is so great. But they don't want to go there because they have a habit, you can say. They are so dependent, they are so good at that application working. You have seen so many users which are great typing speed in Excel, and when you ask them to come to your application, they don't feel that comfortable. So when you give them a better UI experience, that will attract them from the first POV, and then functionality will also for sure make them believe that this particular application will make our work easy. So UI is the first thing which basically attract the users. So then we have the real challenge, which I told you, adaptation. Because from a development perspective, we create application with our all honesty. We make sure that it will be developed correctly. It have a smooth, you can say, development and data flow as well. But the at the end of the day, your company, your business is all dependent on the user adaptation. If user don't buy that application, there is no sense of creating that application, even though you have given your whole you can say effort on that one. But users don't want to come to that application. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how hard work you have done. So you have to make sure your application should look user friendly, have a great UI, and then only it will be adopted by the users. Then I will give you quickly an example of real life. Over here, I am taking example of Google Pay versus Phone Pay. It is basically from a India point of view, because here we are using UPI payment service. So we are using this payment gateway, but in your company you can take the reference of this one particular. That's why I have used the second example over here, which is restaurant versus coffee. But first of all, I will go through the Google Pay and Phone Pay for all the Indians which are using it right now. So if you know that Google Pay and Phone Pay both are using UPI backend. So at the end, when you make a payment, it will redirect you to the UPI interface. But before that final interaction, final payment, you are in a platform which is called Google Pay or Phone Pay. And if you see, both of them doing a same work, both of them doing a same work by making a payment, by making a recharge to your phone, or anything you are doing right now. So both have same options. But then also some of the users are going with Google Pay, some are going with the Phone Pay. Why not everyone is going with the Google Pay? Why not everyone going with the Phone Pay? Because the decision making at the time when we're installing an application, when we are using an application, is UI UX. And some of them look like the UI of Google Pay, while some like the UI of Phone Pay. So you try to understand the importance of UI, even though functionality are same for both of them, though both of them are doing the same work in the backend level. But after that also, users are selecting, some of them selecting Google Pay, some of selecting Phone Pay, because of the UI, the smoothness of that application. So I have written down over here is, both application use the same UPI backend, perform the same transactions, ad free to use, yet user have a strong preference, not because of the backend difference, because backend are same for both of them. They are using an API for UPI, but because of the UI and the user experience, look and feel, ease of use, comfortable and familiarity. And this is the power of UI UX. Then if I take example of restaurant versus coffee, so over here it is for international learners, so who are not from India and don't get the idea of what I'm trying to say on Google Pay versus Phone Pay. For them, this is an example. You can say restaurant versus coffee. So same coffee, same raw material, same dish, same ingredient, yet five-star hotel restaurant charge 3x, while also Starbucks charges 3 into 4x for that coffee. While why this happen, why basically five-star hotels for same coffee charge that much, while if you go to the simple short very simple cafe nearby your home, they won't charge you that much, because that five-star hotel is giving you a ambience, giving you a experience, giving you a comfort. Even though the backhand in a large perspective is same, they are using a same coffee, they are using a same milk. Here and there it can be difference, but there is no major difference you can say right now. And but the fact is that you are getting that ambience, you're getting that experience in that five-star hotel or Starbucks. That's why you are going with that one and paying 3x to 5x to that one. So over here you have to focus on that one, how you present things. So if I give you an example of this one, I can start this video basically with directly go jumping into Oracle Apex framework, where I will show you how to use CSS, how to use HTML correctly, how to use theme. But I decided to frame it in a proper manner with a PPT, not just a PPT, but a great UI. You can see over here, I have used a proper margin from here, a separation over here, the bullet points over here with my name printed over here. So when you're seeing this video, when you're seeing this PPT, you will feel that this is some authentic, so this is something experienced person is giving you that seminar or showing you something about UIX, and you believe in this one. So the process is very important, the outcome is very important, how you display your things, how you show your thing is important. Development is also a part of that one, but how you interact with the user is the main important thing, and it will make a major difference when you sell your application. When you show this application to the real world, you will get more fund out of that one, and business get benefit out of that one. So UI is very important for every application. You have to make sure about that one. And the perspective we have as an Oracle Apex developer in our mind, that we have to focus on backend, we have to learn collections, trigger functions, procedures. But nowadays every code is written by the chat GPT. I just need an idea how to create that one, I can just write down and get a code out of that one. But the real impact is making a UI, how you designing your application out of that one. Then we will jump to next slide. What is the difference between UI and UX? Some of the learners of Oracle Apex don't even know about the main difference between this one, because they take front end as a whole at once. But there is a major difference between UI and UX. So what is the difference? UI answer how does it look. Please try to understand the difference. UI answers how does it look, whereas UX answer how is it easy it is to use. So basically when you come to any application, for example, I give you some reference out of that one, that when you come to any e-commerce website, uh, you see how its layout, basically the home page look like. But as soon as you click on any of the product, how smoothly it flows from one page to another page. It shows a circle over there that it processing, or some of the applications use some different processing icons as well. So how smoothly it flows, it don't show, it doesn't look like it is stuck somewhere. It should move very smoothly. So how smoothly it moving from one screen to another screen, one process to another process in the front end level. This is called UX. UI is about visual consistency, color, spacing, alignment. UX is about user flow, steps, effort, clarity. So this is what this I'm trying to explain you what is a major difference between UI and UX. Then we have a good looking UI can still fail in UX is confusing or slow. So as I've given you an example of a e-commerce website. So when you land into any e-commerce website, you see a UI of that one. It look great, but as soon as you click on buy now button, you will see that flow is not consistent. You can see that it is showing a round over there, it processing, and somehow when we load the next page, it load the half page. The layout is broken down, it take too much time to load into that one. So there are many flaws into that one, and the user feel that uh, you can say mismatch basically over there, and that make an impact over there. Then UX is influenced by performance, validation message, navigation, feedback, not just visual. So whenever you are taking your user throughout your application, he doesn't look like he is lost in that application. So if I give you example of real world over here, so try to understand one thing from a user perspective. User have so many work to do. He is not here to stay in your application, your website for lifelong. He just has to come here, finish his work, and go as soon as possible. So even though you come into any e-commerce website or in your timesheet filling, if you are in an organization, you do a timesheet, you go to the leave management application. So are you excited about that one, that today I will go and fill my timesheet? No, you're not excited about that one. You have to finish your work as soon as possible and leave that application. So we have to understand this thing. All user want is as soon as he jump into application, he has to get a navigation properly. He don't feel like he is lost in this application. He don't know how to go back, how to go next, how to come to the home page. So as fast as we can make sure that user finish it work and go to another application, because it's not a social media platform where our agenda is to stop the user into our application. It's an e-commerce website. We have to make a process smooth and fast, so user will finish it work at one go, fill the timesheet as soon as possible. All data is there, data is fetching from the backend. Whatever he needs should be on the application, on his eyes, on his fingerprints. So this is the agenda. You have to understand the agenda first. Then we have CSS decision is mainly shape UI, but poor CSS can break UX by causing misalignment. Uh, so talking about this one, I have seen in many of the application when uh, developers, basically backend developers, try to do some front end stuff. What they do is they try to fix it for a temporary time. They use margin, padding, CSS into negative as well, which is not a right way to do so, because also what they do is they make their application look great as per the responsiveness of their own uh, monitor screen. If they are working in monitor, they make sure their application should look great in monitor. But we have to understand one thing: user can see this application in their tabs, in their laptops, even though laptops have many different dimensions like MacBook or ThinkPad or another laptops. Even though he can see into a phone as well, so it should be responsive. It should not only work on your system, but it should work on each and every devices. So for that one, we have to see the responsiveness. I will let you know about this one in the next slide, where we have set rules for how to follow it. Then we have UI is noticed immediately. UX is judged over the time. As I told you, UI is the first thing when we land in the application, we see the UI. So as of now, you are seeing my PPT right now. So you might get impressed by the UI basically over here. But when I click on the next, so you can see over here, when I click on the next slide, it should go smoothly. I can use a transition over here, so it will goes smoothly from one page to another page. So this is a over time when user come and again he go through the application, as I've given you example of timesheet, leave management. So if your users, either it can be internal or external, when they came to fill a timesheet on your application, the first time they might get stuck in the application because it's a new application. But over the time they will realize that this is application is not something which give us that Independenceness, basically we cannot fill the timesheet in a small time. It required so much of information to input, so much time to fill it. So at the end of the day, unanimously all the users will come together and might be they will ask the management to remove this application because it's taking so much of time. So we have to make sure your application is smooth from the both the perspective. So at the end, strong UI build the trust, strong UX build the retention. So UI is basically which will bring all your users into your application, whereas UX build the retention. So when your UI is great, your application look great. If I give you example of this PPT, so if this PPT is very raw like Word file or something, I don't think so any of you will go through this PDF basically. uh, but you can see the UI of this PDF basically over here. So might some of you will download this PDF, also rewrite this PDF for your own corporate work or your project work because you like the UI of this basically this PPT. So over here you will remove the text from here, you use this for with your own text, and it will help you out. So then we have this different section over here, which will I have taken as a sprint wise. If you're working in any corporate or company, so then you have a sprint wise division of your project. So whenever you going through a sprint, you have to retrospective basically what work you have done and how well it is received by the users. So from developer perspective, I can say with a 7+ year of experience, when we started our journey as a development, our task is to complete the task basically, to complete the task as soon as possible. But as we grow in the development phase and I become a senior developer, once I complete my task, I take the feedback of that one. Either we can take it from managers or I try to reach to the users. If I get the access of that one, either it will be internal or external, I can directly communicate. If it's possible for me, I can directly communicate with the users and try to understand their pain points. So either they either they feel that whatever work I have done is good for them, or are they facing any problems. So I will communicate with them, and I want you all to do the same thing. Don't complete your task only and then move forward. Stay there, retrospective, think about this one, and take your feedback from the users or internal users, from your managers, what needs to be improved in the next sprint. It will help you in your future. Then we have a CSS learning. So CSS is something which is very important to understand. So as sprint going ahead, you have to understand about CSS learning. You can go to W3 School. Basically, it's a website. Over there, you can learn about uh, more of the CSS. I will quickly show you over here. So yeah, over here you can see. So this is W3 School right now. You can see over here, and we have all the you can say topics related to this one. So you can go one by one over here. How to use CSS? What is the use of CSS? What is outline? What is margin? What is padding? What is border? Basically, what is you can say other aspects like background. So everything you can learn from here, and how to use it also you can learn it from here. Okay. Then we have real project examples. So whenever you creating any project, make sure you learn from that project, because the real requirement, real users input is very important. Then you UI consistency. Basically, whenever you are creating any application and you create one of the component of your application, make sure you are using the same flow in the entire application as much as you can. uh, don't create don't create template for one interactive report or grid or particular uh, static content, and in the next page you are using a different UI for different interactive report. It will break the consistency, basically the UI experience. It should be same in entire application. User interactive grid or interactive report, the column should look same, the coloring should be same, so it will create a flow in the application. Then we talk about the responsiveness and testing. So whenever you are creating your application from the front end perspective, you have to go through from 1100 to 2200 px. So I will show you how to do it in the browser zoom level from 75% to 125%. So how to do it, let me go quickly jump into here. So I will log into my workspace. Yeah, so over here you can see. So this is basically so I have created a invoice basically over here using HTML CSS, and it will be, it is a responsive one. So I will make it over here, so you can see this is our invoice. And if I go to this section, toggle section, it will change it into a device section. So as of now I will click over here, so you can see the dimension responsiveness one. So I will make it from, yeah. So we will start and see if our component are breaking or not. So if we start from 1100, and then I will slowly bring it up. So you can see dimensions are changing from here. So you can take it as we are checking it into a different devices. So we will increase it. So I will make it from here. Yeah. So I will increase it. You can see. So you can see our this section, all the text over here, all the region over here are intact, even though we are increasing the dimension. And increasing dimension is such as we are changing the devices basically. So if I changing a devices, our this particular section remain constant, and I will change it up to what length, which we have given is this one. So from the minimum to the max we are taking. So see, it remain so our text is remain as it is, even though we change it from 1100 to this one. So this way we can check our responsiveness of our css. Also we can go to this section where we have different section like ipad. So this is our ipad, you can see. So in our ipad it is showing a scroll section over here. So in your case you can make it even more responsive. As of now we have created it for desktop version, but if you have to make it, you can make it for uh, tab or phone section as well, where you can also minimize or make it more responsive using media query. And also you can go to ipad, iphone x. So I will go to iphone 5x. Yeah. So over here you can see. So this way you can do it, and now I will close it. So then there is another section which is called as go from 75% to 125%. So from here you can go from 75%. So this is 75%. Your application, your particular css should look same from 75% to 125%. Yeah, this one. So your text should not be broken over here. So you have to follow this approach for your responsiveness. Then we have Figma versus practical UI. So as I told you in the starting of this video that give me a second. Yeah. So as I told you in the starting of this video that what is Figma? Figma is basically where we create a framework or UI, you can say the design of our application which we have to achieve. So sometimes it happen that when we follow a Figma designs, might be sometime it is not same to same implementation as on our application as well. So we have to use our thinking over there. We don't just do a copy paste over here. We understand the users. We see because we are a human, we are a developers, we don't go with a static approach, we go with the dynamic approach as well. So sometime might be the width is set to 1200 or 1100. We don't have to copy paste the same. Figma, you can take it as a reference point where we will take 95% of the Figma, whereas 5% is something which is our understanding, our intelligence, that it should be as per the static width or height, or it should be a dynamic. So where we can use our own understanding at that time. Then we have a ownership mindset. So what the main issue was, some of the developers create uh, any UI in their dev stage, and then it's migrated to the QA, or from QA environment to UAT, and from UAT to prod. So when they develop anything on dev and it's moved to QA, it's their responsibility to make sure whatever module they are working on, whatever sprint they are working on, it should look same in dev, in QA, in UAT, and in prod. Is their responsibility. There's a ownership mindset that it's not something, if it breaks in any of the environment, you cannot say that it is due to some other developers. You have to take ownership of that one. Then team collaboration, it is very important when we starting any project. Likewise, if I am working in any project and I decided that as per our design we need a dedicated template, we cannot go with the native interactive report design. So at that moment, I will discuss with other developers in my team, and we will unanimously make a decision that we will all use the same template. I will create the template, I will share it with you and other developers as well. So all of them use the same thing. It should not be like that one, that I am following a Figma design where I created one template, whereas another developer is creating their own templates. So it's a mismanagement between the team, and we have to follow our team collaboration system. Then we have an outcome of this session is, once you follow all these steps step one by one, you will find out your application will be 10x better than what you have right now. Because as I told you, most of the Apex developers by default are backend developers, but we have to increase our focus on UI as well. It will make a big impact as AI has been introduced and we all are using AI in our development. So development is big, is more of a, you can say we can use the chat gpt or something like that one, but in the UI we have to make a decision. We have to use our own intelligence, what user basically like it or not like it. So we have to take a decision, and it will make a difference when you putting your application in front of your management, your client, or anyone. It will make a difference over there. Then over here, sprint learning and UI CSS workshop summary. So why UI and CSS matter? I already told you. Most of the developers are backend only, and we have to change that mindset of all the developers, that we are happy with the backend approach. We have to bring it into the center where they have a knowledge of front end as well as backend as well. They are good in both of them. They can see the application from both the perspective, not from the backend perspective only. Then will be a one direction, one standard, and clean UI. So basically, I think most of you already know about. So basically, this first video is related to the theory knowledge only. When we move to the second video, we will see in our application how to change themes, CSS, and everything over there. That will be a practical video, but we have to understand what the problem is, what will approach we will take, and how we will resolve this problem. So one direction, one standard means we have to make sure that whenever we starting our application creation, the application should be started with one theme. Which theme we are going with, how footer should look like, how header should look like, how global component should look like, how you can say global modules or page items or buttons or warning messages, success messages should look like for entire application. So as much as we can make sure everything is already set as a global level for application, and only page level is something which is very important. to make a decision into a page level itself, we will do that only. Rest, we will make sure everything should be on global level and application follow the same structure for all the pages. Also, avoid direct use of native Apex classes. So what will happen is most of the developers, what they do is basically uh, they use a native classes, like they will go and inspect the region, and they will find a class T body. So from its name itself you can see T body, it's a native class or Apex. So when you change it, it will change the entire application CSS at a global level if you're using it. And if you're using it into a inline level, it will change the other region T body as well. So we don't have to touch the native classes. We have to make a static ID first and then only use it. So this way we are making sure we are not touching any native classes. Also, CSS ownership and fragileness of awareness. So basically what happen is when I talk about the backend, so in a backend you have written a code. Take example, you have written a code for any interactive report where you are fetching a data from a database. So until unless I can go to that particular section and change the code of SQL query, it will not be changed. So this is something which you can the stability. But talking about the CSS ownership, if I have written down any CSS in a page level and someone has used the same class in a global level, it will override my class. Or there are multiple scenarios where he can use using Java, jQuery as well. So CSS is so fragile, even though you have written down your code perfectly, no one has changed it, but someone has used the same class in some other area and override your class. So you don't understand where the problem is. So you have to inspect entire section, global, regional level, inline level, jQuery. So you have to go through each and every section and try to understand what is the problem is. So CSS is so fragile, and we have to make sure whenever we are designing our application, all the developers are into a same page. We are not going into different directions. Then we have responsiveness and validation is mandatory. I already explained you about this one. Then we have Figma. Figma is something is a wireframe, but we have to use our own understanding as well. Continuous UI review, not one time fix. So once we complete the sprint, we have to make sure that we should put some time like 2 days or 3 days for entire application UI check and retrospective. We will see what are the problems we have faced, what we can change it. So whenever you are writing a code for any CSS, make sure don't think it as I will use this CSS class temporary right now just to check, and in future I will remove it with a perfect comments and everything. This future will never come, because I have seen it many time. Developers just put a random CSS over there. They don't have a comment section over there. They don't have a notification why this CSS has been using, who has used it, at what date it has been updated. There is no information on that one. And they think that in future we will change it when we get time. They will never get that time. So whenever you are writing any CSS, even though you are using for a temporary purpose, write down properly with a comment over there. And when the sprint is completed, come back to your pages, see your CSS. If needed, make it optimize. Might be when you're trying to when you write that code, at that time you have used extra classes, but now you can optimize it and make it smaller. So it's a iterative approach. It's not something a one time approach, it's iterative approach. You have to again and again go through the application, and you can you compress your CSS. Then we have an individual responsibility, build collective UI response. I already told you, collaborate with the team and create a proper one. Then key observation and guideline. Why do UI issues repeated across sprint? Because why CSS? Why the problem we are seeing of CSS again and again in your project as well? Because CSS is overridden. So whenever you write any CSS class, the problem is the second developer which is coming to take your work. So might be you are leaving that project or you are allocated to another project, but you have written down a CSS without comments. So the new developer will come over there in the place of you. He don't even know what you have done. He don't even know why this CSS has been used. So what he will do is, rather than going to that code, he will write the same code using a clause which we can say important. So he will override your code. Rather than removing your code or correcting your code, he will override your code. So in this way, we have two same classes with same definitions, but over there he has made it important. So that's why whenever you are writing any code, either it can be SQL code, JavaScript code, SQL code, it should be well defined, that whenever you are leaving that project, next developer will come, he understand your code correctly. Should native Epic class be used directly? Never. Never try to use any native class for your CSS change, because it will impact entire application. Until unless it is very important, then only do it. And how to do it, I will tell you the approach. Rather than calling directly a native class, you have to use a static ID first, and along with that one, you have to use a native class. Can UI be improved in the middle of the development? Yes, you can do it. I told you it's a iterative approach. It's not something a one-time approach that you will come to your application today and you will change the UI of application entirely from the global level, from the inline level, from JavaScript. You cannot do it. It's an iterative approach where you will in each sprint you will retrospect what problems you have faced, how you can optimize your CSS, and each and every developers has to make sure that they are aligning with the approach of this one, and then only it will be refined. Why does CSS break even when it worked earlier? As I told you, CSS is very fragile, and each and every developer has to make sure that whenever they are writing any code or introducing any CSS, basic any static file, that particular static class is not being used earlier. Why? What definition successfully UI delivery? A consistent, responsive, user-friendly UI that user trust and continue to use. So whenever you're creating any application, UI is so attractive that user wants to use that application. So talking about Instagram, or you can talk about Facebook, you can talk about Amazon, it should be smooth and user can trust on that one. Because try to understand one thing, when you introduce your application once, for example, in your organization, you have created a timesheet application, and the first time when user come to that application, it might be that they like the UI, they they like the UI, they like the UX, but it's their first time to log in that application. They fill the timesheet and and they post it, basically draft it, or you can send it to manager for approval. When they came back after 1 week, they see there is no pending, or you can see it's not been sent to manager. So trust has been broken there. So the users, from user perspective, he think that I have sent this last week, but still I can see over here is it is missed out from here. Manager didn't get my timesheet. So trust has been broken over here. Your application should work as per its commitment. So whatever you have committed, application will deliver. It should deliver, because at initial level you have to very consistent and very, you can say, strictly follow that rule of whatever you have been committed to, you have to deliver it. And likewise we have other option as well. And then, yeah, so this is the ending note. We have covered all the points. If anything I have left over or I have not covered right now, please comment down below in this video, or give your suggestion in our LinkedIn group as well, or you can directly DM me as well. So over there we can discuss on the next video. But I think together we will build a better UI practice. And why I'm saying this, together we can build it, because the reason is, even though I have a knowledge of UI as a front-end developer, I alone cannot create an application. I want more Oracle APEX developer come out as a front-end developer as well, and they create an amazing UI, amazing. As of now, you have seen so many applications built on React, how the UI is so impressive over there. So likewise, our community, our Oracle Apex community, all the developers will also learn about the UI, and they will also create a very rich and very user friendly application, and that will increase the demand of Oracle Apex in the community. So whenever I just want to bring this point over here, because most of the fresher or intermediate developers ask this about, do we have the opening of Oracle Apex in the market or a demand of Oracle Apex in the market? So demand is created by the developer itself. Whenever we deliver something with the best quality, it will catch the eye of other business as well. If we create something, an amazing timesheet filling application, or any, you can say, e-commerce website or social media platform or any in-house application as well, and it is being used by many peoples and the UI is very good, so then other company management will also see that, and they will find out that Apex is so efficient, so UI friendly, we should also adopt it. Demand comes from that only. Demand is not something which will come by their own. It should be influenced by some other product as well. So we have to bring more applications in the market by developing it, and it will automatically increase the demand of Oracle Apex. There will be more opening of Oracle Apex, there will be more salary increment as well. So this is a automatic chain. So we are the one who will introduce this one, and we are the one who will start this one. So take it as a responsibility of a community. You are a part of Oracle Apex community and you have to focus on that one. So yeah, thank you so much for giving your time on this video and up to the end. If you are stay in this video, I will see you in the next video. Please subscribe to our channel and also put your comment over here, and it will encourage us to bring more insight of Oracle Apex and how we can bring the best in the Oracle Apex. Also, just want to tell you that we are recognized by Oracle. Last year also I was a part of Oracle ACE community, and in this year also I'm a part of Oracle ACE associate. I'm an Oracle ACE associate. So we have a connectivity, you can say, or you can say the communication with the top level Oracle ACE associate or directory or other one as well, and we get the more we can get the latest news about the Oracle release as well. So I want my learners, whoever watching this video, should also participate in this our Oracle ACE and fill your nomination over there and be a part of Oracle ACE. There are so many advantages of this one, and it will encourage you, it will highlight you in the Oracle community as well. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.